One thing we did when we had Scandalaris way back in '01, Bob Scandalaris and I had a vision that entrepreneurship needed to be interdisciplinary. It needed to be campus-wide. It needed to cross all schools and all degree levels, because it wasn't about business. It was about using personal motivation, impact, creativity, and commitment, and persistence to cause meaningful and valuable change that matches what your motivation is. Now, that doesn't matter if it's a not-for-profit venture. It doesn't matter if it's an artistic venture. It doesn't matter if it's a tech venture or a lifestyle venture. It depends on the motivation of the entrepreneur. And you need all of them in the ecosystem learning together, because they become good peer mentors for each other. And so from the beginning at Scandalaris, we started out with that. And because of that, we got a large grant from the Kauffman Foundation to create the next generation of entrepreneurial higher ed education. We were one of 8 schools. And that gave us 5 years, and we raised more money. We created a bunch of competitions. We created idea bounds. We created courses in all the schools. We identified courses that had entrepreneurial content to try and help people find them. And when you added all those up, you had 80 courses, and pretty quick we had a lot of engaged student groups, particularly in the PhD science programs, and even the med school students, the biomedical engineers, and they all began to build things and prototype things, and form relationships with people in the community. I mean, there's this thing called the Balsa Group. They've done 80 assignments for biotech startups, and the PhD students have learned about business, but they haven't taken any courses. It's been all experiences. And what the Balsa kids tell us is, geez, I want to stay in St. Louis because I can't form this many new relationships if I leave. It's, and those are kids you want to keep, kids, young adults, but you want to keep them. And the med school students are now building prototypes for clinicians. We've got kids that are working right now on building a rotating chair so it's easier to do spinal taps without injuring the patient. And we've got a couple interns that's working on that. They're getting people to bend metal for them and do the prototype, and they're scrounging with the steel manufacturers, the father of the kid that they know, to get the free steel to have them. I mean, that's that. And if you do that, then you get an entrepreneur for life, because you get an entrepreneur for life when they have uncertainty, they don't know how they're going to do it, they don't have any resource, they're short of time, and somehow they get something done. And there's something weird about men and women and humanity, that what happens when you do that, you actually like it. And there's probably something that's a little, not quite right about that. But once you know you can do it and have that sense of accomplishment and have that sense of purpose, you want to keep doing it. And it's not about the money.